is from Dan Williams, Bloomberg. Question for the briefing. Is Israel preparing part of the yellow zone for renewed Palestinian habitation, even in the absence of a Hamas disarmament and ouster in the Gaza Strip? If so, where, for how many civilians, and with what end date? So Israel will maintain overall security control of the Gaza Strip. And of course, all details in the 20-point plan will be followed. Israel will continue to uphold this 20-point plan. Alexander Cornwell from Reuters. All right, this is a very lengthy question. U.S. Secretary of State last night expressed concern about the recent wave of settler violence in the West Bank. Overnight, Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir condemned recent settler attacks, according to Israeli police. 3 of the 4 individuals were arrested on Tuesday. Does the government unequivocally condemn acts of violence committed by Israeli citizens against Palestinians in the West Bank? So let me tell you this on Judea and Samaria. Any incidents of lawlessness are dealt with to the full extent of the law. The IDF operates under strict ethical guidelines and international law in Judea and Samaria. Commander of the Central Command made it clear that the IDF does not accept any situation in which lawbreakers harm property and civilians. Jewish communities are under attack, and they are oftentimes conveniently overlooked in the media. Israel has experienced a wave of terror perpetrated by individuals, many of them very young, inspired by vicious incitement in Palestinian social and traditional media, urged on by the Palestinian leadership. The Palestinian Authority systematically rewards people for attacking and terrorizing Jews, and the more serious offenses, the more money they receive. The abhorrent pay-for-slay initiative by the PA has continued, and the policy must stop, as it drives and it fuels terror against Jews. Now, as part of the ceasefire, Israel released 250 Palestinian terrorists serving life sentences. The PA paid these same terrorists, many of them from Hamas, and they have made a collective of $70 million. 9 major attacks took place in September, 8 in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria region, and one side, Israel. The security services were able to foil 105 major terror attacks. 9 people were killed and 24 injured in the September terror attacks. I'd also like to point to you more information on the ground. When it comes to terrorism from Judea and Samaria, I can tell you that Israel's policy is that there will be no safe haven for terrorists in Judea and Samaria. The IDF and our security services continue to operate vigorously to foil terror attack activity in the region, and we will reach anyone who harms the state of Israel and its citizens and our soldiers. The terrorism against Israeli citizens is the result of ongoing incitement directed by Iran and Hamas, encouraging attacks against civilians and their murder, and attempting to ignite additional arenas. Let's also bring everyone up to speed about the events of today that came out. Let's talk about the reality. Shin Bet and IDF announced today with the Israeli police that they dismantled a Hamas terrorist stronghold where terrorists operated in the Bethlehem area, planning to carry out shooting attacks against security forces and Israeli civilians. More than 50 terrorists were apprehended in 15 different operations that took place. One of the terrorist cells was in advanced stages of operational readiness, preparing to carry out attacks within the immediate time frame. Now, thwarting this type of terrorism prevented significant terror attacks from happening, which could have had a devastating toll on our soldiers and our citizens. Those are all the questions that I see right now. If anyone else has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to the Prime Minister's office. Thanks so much for joining us today.